Good morning, everybody. Welcome to St. Bart's. We are here today to check out the new Hotfix driver from NVIDIA. This is Hotfix driver 551.46. It's based off the current game-ready driver 551.23, and this one is of particular interest to us in Microsoft Flight Simulator because the first thing that they list that this driver fix addresses is intermittent micro stuttering in games when VSync is enabled. And there's a couple other stutter issues that they mentioned that aren't directly related to Microsoft Flight Simulator, but it really seems like this is just generally speaking, a stutter driver. That's basically what it addresses, is stuttering in all its forms. And if you look right now, I mean, it is butter smooth. And I haven't even flown with it. I just updated the driver this morning. I flushed all my caches. I got rid of the rolling cache. I deleted that. I deleted the DX cache, the GL cache, the works. And I haven't even flown with this. And usually what you need to do, particularly when you clear all the caches, is to get a couple flights in before it really smooths out, right? And in this particular case, I'm finding it super smooth right off the bat. There's a little bit of ghosting on that truck going by over there, but that's all right. That's another thing that should, theoretically clear up as we use this driver. So we'll go external power supply on, mixtures and props full forward. Rotating beacon on. My brain froze there for a second. Master and battery switches on. We'll go fuel pumps on. We will open the fuel valves. We'll open the starter hood cover. Magnetos on left. Take a quick look outside. Make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim. And of course, we noticed that we've got all the equipment still on the airplanes. We got to get rid of all that, engine covers and all that business. So nobody outside to kill or maim. We're gonna go right engine first. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Left prop is clear. There's a good start. Oil pressure is good. Mags to both. Close the starter hood cover, fuel pumps coming off, avionics master and battery coming on, lean the mixtures for taxi. Let's see here, nav and strobe lights coming on. And I've been flying the Islander again lately, doing some streaming the last week and a half ish. So if you guys are so inclined, you should join. Either watch or fly along. We're doing the streams and we're checking out all the stuff that's been added, all the POIs and everything for World Update 16. It's been really a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, this driver is just spectacular. It really is. So toes on the brakes to turn the external power supply off. We'll release the parking brake, and I don't have any yeah. One thing I've noticed, you can't put your toes on the brakes and then release the parking brake. You have to release the parking brake and then put your toes on the brakes, which doesn't make any sense, but whatever. We'll turn ourselves around. We're not on VATSIM. We are not on multiplayer, because we just want to check out this driver and see how it does. So coming up to the hold short line here, we're going to put takeoff flaps in. We're going to put fuel pumps on. Mixtures and props full forward. Trade wind represented. One thing I realized, I think I did something that caused my liveries to disappear. Since there's no traffic, I suppose there's no point in waiting at the whole short line. get ourselves out on center line here. And we'll see what we get. But I mean, so far, this is just amazing. I mean, this is easily... I'm used to smooth performance. I get very, very smooth performance. There was one driver back in December that wasn't any good, and I had to roll it back. But other than that, I'm used to very, very smooth performance, and this driver is just... I mean, it's as smooth as anything I've seen. All right, fuel pumps on, flaps set, mixtures props full forward, takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments in the green. Release the brakes. And check my trim. My trim's okay. Airspeed's alive. There's 65 knots. And a little bit of rodeo there. There's a little hotel right here that I always wanted to go stay at. Right there. And turn left to ahead of 060 weather. And there we go. Bring the props back. Bring the manifold pressure back. We're just going to head up to Anguilla and put the flaps up here. Just going to head up to Anguilla and see what this is. This driver looks like. There's Sabre off in the distance. There's 1,000 feet AGL. We'll turn our fuel pumps off and check our fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are looking just fine. Alright, and let's trim it out for 100 knots cruise climb. And so I've got the Holy Grail settings going. I've got the frame jet mod going, which is why you're seeing this with the nose cone there, that it's a little bit funky, but that's the price we pay for frame jet, and I will take it. It doesn't bother me. So. Off of 1500. Didn't do a very good job of that. And I put in a little bit of aileron trim here. I mean, I can already tell you, just moving my head around in the cockpit here, it's super smooth. Just I mean, it's just silky. It really is, this driver. And everything I've read about it has been that it's very, very good. And so the weird thing about Hotfix drivers, they don't really advertise them. For example, if you get your drivers from GeForce Experience, which is what I do, at least I get the notification of it from GeForce Experience when a new game ready driver comes out. You don't get this notification, so I don't quite know why. But the driver I was talking about that I rolled, or no, actually not the driver I rolled back to in December. So I rolled back my driver in December to one that had worked very nicely, and then a Hotfix driver came out, and I upgraded to the Hotfix driver, and the Hotfix driver was the one I ran until maybe a week ago, when 551.23 came out. And that Hotfix driver was fantastic. I think it was 546.31, and whenever I had people asking me what driver I was running, and I told them, I don't remember if it was 546.31. I think it was, and I kept getting the response. That I don't see that driver. That driver doesn't exist. So I don't know if it shows in the list even on NVIDIA's web page. But if you go into their support homepage and their knowledge base homepage, that's where they've got. I'll put a link directly to where you can download this driver from in the description of the video, obviously. The other thing that I wasn't really intending to get into in this video is that I think I'm done with the DVU clean, full uninstall. The display driver uninstaller is what DVU is. And the last couple times I've updated drivers, I have done complete uninstalls and then reinstalls. And cleaning all my, the GL cache, the DX cache, there's the D something 3 cache, that D3X cache or whatever it is. That's the Microsoft thing, and starting in safe mode to clean all that stuff out. For the longest time, up until maybe 3 months ago, when I updated drivers, all I did was just update it in GeForce Experience and done. And I really think I'm going to go back to that, because I don't know, whenever I do this whole process, I have to, for example, reinstall my external speakers, because it's just, so it does result in a super smooth, and you kind of get a guarantee that you're not going to have any lingering issues from conflicts from older files and stuff like that from a previous driver. But the thing is, it's just so cumbersome. I mean, it only takes, I don't know, maybe a half hour, but it's annoying. And I really never had any problems just updating through GeForce Experience. The other thing that's actually the thing that really is a pain that I had to deal with this morning, I had to go back and watch my own settings video, because, and just look at how smooth this is. Look at how smooth this is looking around. There's no hesitation when changing direction. Like, of course I'm using the Tracker IR5 head tracker. It's kind of a cool shot. But there's just no issues at all with this driver. It's just beautiful. But so I had, when I do that whole process of the display driver uninstaller and then safe mode and clear everything out, and then install the new driver from scratch, yes, it works. It works very, very well. But the other thing is you have to because it uninstalls NVIDIA control panel. NVIDIA control panel. I don't know why they don't just call it NVIDIA. It's so much better. So it just having to go through and redo your NVIDIA control panel settings. That's the thing that irritates me the most, I think. And we'll go fuel pumps on here. But this driver is just spectacular. It really is. I think I know I've talked about this before, but I am done with the 2000s and the 2010s attitude of I'm not updating my driver because this one's working. I just update drivers now. You know, and every once in a while you'll get one that isn't, you know, really good. But I think, especially if you, you know, it might be a different story if you're like still on a GTX 1080 or something like that. But if you've got an RTX GPU, you know, it's time that we start in the sim world start realizing that not only is the technology getting so much better, but the software is getting way better, and it's just there's just less issues, there's less nonsense with it, and it's time to adjust, you know. And I am the person who's, you know, something is the way it is and it works. I don't like to change things. Those days are over in flight sim, in my opinion. They really are. So we got the first notch of flaps in. I'm gonna overfly the field and do a left downwind, just because. Give us a chance also to fly low over terrain, which would be good. It's also an old school technique to flying that people just don't use anymore, which is you overfly the. I'm not doing a good example right now because when you do this, you want to overfly the field 500 feet above traffic pattern altitude. Traffic pattern altitude is generally 1,000 feet above the ground for prop planes. And but anyway, fly over the midpoint of the runway and check the windsock. You know, we're all so used to, see it right down there. Right here. And, oh yeah, wait, you're not gonna see it because I've got the upscaling and the downscaling and everything. My pointer is not going to point in the right direction for you. So we're gonna make let's go ahead and adjust a little bit more, and then make a left downwind here. I want to get the 1-1. Runway 11, so we're going to get the 1-1 right on this hash mark here, and that's going to give us a perfect downwind. And there we go. Smooth roll out there. And let's take a look and see what's going on in Anguilla. Anguilla is looking spectacular. And there's sandy ground. There's Sandy Island right off the 11 o'clock right there off the nose. That's Sandy Island. That is, we'll check that out as a matter of fact. That's a point of interest in the New World Update 16 for Microsoft. And like I said earlier, we've been doing, still get the DX12 cage around this ship. I don't know what the deal is with that. But like I said earlier, we've been doing streams. There's Prickly Pear Key out there. Got my wallet out there one time in real life. And this is Sandy Island. You can get a little boat, bring out here for the day, have lunch, get a sunburn if you're me, and it's just spectacular. But that's a really cool thing to put in the sim. It's a very Anguilla thing. It's a very Anguilla thing. should have done my turn earlier, then I could have showed it to you a little bit better. But I didn't. Alright. Left base. Alright. Roll in. And you will never see a cruise ship like that in Anguilla, by the way. Oh, this is horrifying right here. Way overshot. Way overshot center line. And you can see the water just looks amazing. You really can't even quantify in there really is no fake color that you can use in the sim to show what the color of the water on Anguilla really looks like. It is absolutely astounding. And I think from what I saw, we have basically a direct crosswind. So let's get back into flap operating range here. Full flap operating range, that is. There's sandy ground down there. Get yourself something to eat. Hang out. Beautiful, beautiful beach area. Alright, I'm going to leave the props for a little bit later just because I don't want to annoy people. It's the reason you don't. It's the reason you wait until you go props full forward on an approach is because props full forward is very, very loud. Very, very loud. Alright, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set. Now we're really not going to do very well here unless we start paying attention. So it gets really choppy in here. I think I see one white, 3 red at this point. I'll be happy with 80 knots. It's really, really churlish in this part of the... And there's 2 white, 2 red. I go mixtures full forward, props full forward. 2 white, 2 red. Going over top of favorite Indian restaurant. Well, not my second favorite Indian restaurant, actually. Alright. Yeah, decent crosswind, not too bad. Oh, that was awful. Don't tune into this one for a landing tutorial, folks. That one was terrible. That one was terrible. That one was terrible. And I know there's gonna be some people who are gonna mention whatever that was, that flickering down here as I was landing. You know what? It didn't bother me. That's frame gen related. So we'll leave the mixture for taxi. We'll turn the landing light off. And we'll wait to be clear of the runway to do anything else. Alright, so clear the runway, come to a stop, turn your fuel pumps off, put your flaps up. Mixtures are lean for taxi. Alright. Never mess around with stuff on the runway. It's not as big a deal in a fixed gear airplane, but in a retractable gear airplane, especially one that has a switch to lower the gear, like the Baron, the Bonanza. It's a very, very good way to accidentally put the gear up as you're heading towards the as you're heading for the ramp. Just wait and do it once you come to a stop and clean up the airplane. All right, here we go. Come to a stop. Mixture's idle, cut off, throttles are idle. We'll set the parking brake. Nav and strobe lights coming off. Avionics master off before you turn the mags off. Mags coming off. Master and battery switches off. Rotating beacon off. And we'll open the doors. We'll get the boarding steps and the chocks out. And that's that, folks, aside from a relatively inexact, shall we say, landing. This one was pretty good. So yeah, this Hotfix driver is just smooth as can be. I mean, you can see everything moving in the background. You know, it's just, there's no hesitation, no jitteriness, no stutters. It's fantastic. So again, I'll put the driver, the link to the driver in the description. I will also put the link on to my video of how I do my drivers, how I clear the DX cache and the GL cache and all that fun business, if you guys want to do that. And we will see you next time.